We're
Um,
back.
Cold out there in California, huh?
It is 47 degrees, freezing,
Wow. Yeah,
freezing.
35 and windy here in Connecticut.
That
Um,
doesn't sound that bad.
yeah, it's warming up. Spring is here. And I just
We're-
got back from vacation, Turks and Caicos, right?
So you said you recommend Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, it's other than the bugs. The bugs are no joke. But yeah, the
I didn't.
people.
I wasn't aware of that. I mean, that makes sense, but
I
I
still
have
have the
reasons.
bites. It's crazy. Um, the bugs are
Now
crazy, but
they're not bed bugs,
no,
right?
no, there were like no CMs, on the beach or whatever. But the water is
Like sea
beautiful.
lice? Is that what you mean?
I don't
Sea
know what
lice?
they are, but I hope I didn't bring any home. um, but the water's beautiful. I went diving, super clear. I put a video up. I reviewed the GoPro Hero
Yeah, it
13.
looked pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it looks pretty cool. There was like sharks out there, pretty nice.
What kind of
But
sharks though?
yeah, They didn't get too close. They were pretty far out. I'm not sure what they were, but they said they have
Oh,
all types there. Um,
yeah.
but while I was going, I had the Tesla Model 3 Highland at the airport for 5 days, right? And I had the Sentry mode on. Um, and I made a video about like how much power that uses. That used 6.3 kilowatt hours per day. So that's pretty high. Like that's about $2 worth of electricity a day at like our rates here in Connecticut.
Damn. Yeah, which are the highest, right?
Yeah, they're one of the highest. I mean, California is probably and Hawaii are probably up there too. Um,
Well, California is definitely up there for sure.
yeah, yeah. But so I put a poll up like, where do you use Sentry mode? So, do you use it everywhere? Everywhere besides home, everywhere but the airport. I never use it. It uses too much power. And most people said everywhere besides home. That makes sense because, if you have it on at home, it's going to cost you like $2 a day in electricity, right? So hopefully you have
Yeah,
other cameras, you have a Ring doorbell or something.
yeah, yeah.
But when you're out in public, you probably do want to leave it on. That's how I have mine set. So everywhere but home.
Yeah, you're making me want to check my app right now
You better
because I'm
check it.
not.
Yeah, you don't want to have it on everywhere because it's in your garage. You don't want it burning power.
Yeah, that's the one thing I want to make sure. I think it's turned off, but
hmm
it's been a while since I've looked at it or checked it. So
But I would definitely turn it on in public because of the Tesla hate going around right now. Like, there's like a few
yeah,
people that I don't know what's going on, but they lit one of the superchargers on fire in Massachusetts. Somebody committed arson. Like
dude,
so.
it's an American-made
I
vehicle.
know, I know. I don't get it.
Idiot.
Like, there are a few people, I guess, that are getting triggered, by by some things that the government's doing, whatever. But I bought mine after Elon went crazy because it's a great vehicle, right?
After he went
After
crazy?
he went crazy, I bought it because it's the best car out there. I mean, but
What do you mean after he went crazy?
no, there's
Like
like
you're
bumper
talking
stick.
like he went crazy now? He's
No,
crazy
like there's
now.
bumper stickers that I bought this before Elon went crazy.
Oh yeah, I did see one of
But
those.
then I see a new bumper sticker. I bought this after he went crazy because it's a great car.
Yeah, yeah.
So, whatever. I don't get involved in politics, but I know some people are going crazy over it. So I would leave my Sentry mode on in public now. I didn't really see
I
anything.
actually don't want to after you're telling me like the cost of that's pretty high.
Yeah, but during your daily commute, it's not that bad because like you're at work for 8 hours or whatever. I mean, it's gonna
Yeah.
use like 50 cents worth of power, right? You're driving to the store, use a couple cents worth of power.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
the where it really comes in is if it's on 24/7 where the vehicle's parked, like at the airport, right? Then it uses power and I watched it. I knew I wanted to make this video and I knew I wanted to leave it on, so I was watching it. I got to the airport at about 85% state of charge,
Yeah.
and then I think I was at about 50% state of charge when I left, or a little bit lower.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's with
Damn.
Sentry on. Now, if I had it off, it would probably only use like less than 1% a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd still be at like 80% after a week.
Yeah.
Just some things you have to look at when you have these EVs. If you are going to park it at the airport for a month, you probably want to plug it in or just take an Uber, right? Um,
For a month, that's a
it's a
time.
long time, yeah. Especially where we
Why would
park.
you pay parking?
Right, it
for
wouldn't
a
be
month?
worth it. But for us to go a week is worth it because Uber would be like 150 to go both ways or something.
150 each way?
Both ways, like 75 each way maybe.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, but parking was less. So, and I parked right by the gate. I just like walked right in.
Yeah.
So it depends. Like for us, we parked there because Uber, plus when you get out, like you don't have to wait. Like you can just get in your car and go home, right?
No, when I walk off the plane, I'm doing my Uber.
Oh, you are? Yeah, me too. But like I'm warming my car up, so I get in it.
LA is a little bit different though because you
Yeah.
have to go to a particular parking lot
Yeah.
to get your Uber. They don't do it on site.
Oh yeah, you have to go to like the rideshare lot.
Yeah.
No, I mean we've been using at Connecticut's Bradley Field, like we've been using the short term parking because it's like right next to the gate. You just have to park. I park on the top level, so no one's gonna park near me, hopefully, and then I just like walk right in, and that's it. Like no buses or anything like that. So it's pretty convenient, right? So a couple other things we have to talk about. Tariffs, what's the state of the tariffs now?
I have no idea.
They're on again. They're off again. They're on. So,
Yeah.
so I guess we're waiting until April 2nd now for Mexican and Canadian imports.
Yeah, that was his original date though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
April
don't
2nd
know.
was the original date.
Yeah, they were on, they were off. How is it really going to affect us? It's going to be like a one-time hit. It's not going to be inflationary, I guess. Like if there are tariffs do go on, we're gonna take like a one-time price increase and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
But they may not fully go on for the auto manufacturers, right? Like I think Trump's in meeting with them, but I think it will affect GM and Ford more than it affects like Tesla and Rivian. Because
sure.
most of those vehicles that the light trucks, everything that GM makes, comes from Mexico pretty much, and that's going to be 100% tariffs, I would think. And same thing from Ford. They make a lot of their trucks, F-150s in Canada. So I mean, I think the tariffs are going to affect them quite a bit. Tesla and Rivian, all their raw materials, they're probably importing from Canada or Mexico or China. So that part will definitely get hit a little bit, but maybe like 20% of the raw material price will go up. It won't be as high as the whole vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And as far as the Wi-Fi equipment goes, like we don't know where that's going to be either. But
No, nothing right. I don't have my finger on the pulse, but
yeah,
nothing right now.
nothing
anyway.
right now. Yeah, no prices are going up now. But like someone that's manufacturing in Taiwan, like Ingenious, probably has an advantage over someone that's manufacturing in China, right? Like at this point.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So all of our equipment's TAA compliant and
Yeah.
NDAA compliant because we're manufactured in Taiwan. So
Yeah, for sure.
our manufacturing facilities is located there. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're okay for now, but if you have any projects coming up, I would definitely buy now just in case. Like if you do that,
We do have people actually doing that.
you have seen that happening. Yeah, I mean,
Managed service providers are doing that a little bit for sure.
Oh yeah, I can see that for sure because they have to lock in that recurring revenue, right? Like
Yep. Yeah.
they know what they can charge. No, I've been seeing pretty steady business right now, but you could see a one-time price increase on some of this equipment, but I don't think it's going to be huge. It's not going to I don't think it's going to kill the economy or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And as far as equipment goes, we have a BOGO on again for the ECW 220, right? That's the largest selling Wi-Fi 6 access point. Is that your biggest selling access point?
220. Yeah, 220, 230.
That's what it says That's what it says in the promotion flyer. It says our best-selling Wi-Fi access point, the 220.
It is. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it
is,
is, right?
But I would say, what I was saying is what comes in second is probably the 230.
Oh yeah, for me the 230 is the best-selling because I recommend that one to my customers because we just have like it's such like we have like a history with it. We know how well it works, the coverage, the capacity, very low failure rate. It's just a known product, and if you're gonna put in a certain amount of drops in your building, I would use that 230. I'd use the 4x4 because the putting those drops in is what costs the most money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless you're putting in 100 access points in a hotel or something, the AP cost is probably like secondary to that wiring cost, right?
I would think so.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
definitely is.
yeah, I mean the labor, just the labor.
The labor to put
Yeah,
those
cable
drops
runs,
in,
the labor.
yeah,
Gosh, yeah.
it far exceeds the cost of the access point. So yeah, I mean, I recommend the 230, but if you do need a lot of access points and you're on a budget, look at that 220 now because you can request a free one, buy one get one, right? And we have
Yeah,
those in
yeah.
stock today.
We have a lot of claims on those too.
Yeah, make sure to
A
ship
lot
them
of
out.
claims. No, it's just a matter of you do have to be a little cautious if it's with a project. So
Yeah,
I would buy what you need for the project and get the free ones. The free ones come, but they might not fit with if you have tight
yeah.
deadlines with your project, buy what you need for the project and get the free ones for like a next
The
project or
next
something like
project,
that.
yeah, for sure. That's what I see most people do because, you would purchase the initial units from Keenan Systems, and then submit your invoice to Ingenious, and they will then send out the free units, right? But may
Yep.
take a couple weeks to get those out. Yeah, I wouldn't rely on those for the project you're working on.
Yeah.
But then you can use them on your next project, right? Like you have a lot more margin
Yep.
there. All right,
Heck yeah,
bud.
man.
Anything else you want to talk about this week?
New firmware that came out on the gateways.
Oh, okay.
You can go into the release notes. I can't speak to detail, but I think it is an important firmware update that it's in beta mode right now.
Okay.
I would actually suggest putting in that firmware.
Putting in the firmware. Yeah, I mean the gateways, the firmware on the gateways is a lot more important than the access points or even the switches, right? Because it has to address what's happening with the internet service providers out there. They could make a change that would affect anyone's router, right? Like whoever's making that router, they have to keep up on that, as well as
Yeah.
security concerns. If there's any, if there's any exploits out there that are targeting routers, right? You have to keep up on that. So, and by default, everyone's gateway should update every Sunday, right? Like that's the default settings.
By default, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess Monday morning, 2 a.m., 1 to 2 or something like that.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of the cloud. You don't have to go and look. It's going to do it, but you want to set your firmware to the beta channel probably, right?
For the gateway, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
You can set it. You can set it for AP switches, PDUs, gateways. I'm just saying for the gateway, I would put not for every case. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Not every case, but I would say there's a new firmware for the gateways, which is beta. I would suggest that firmware update because we ran into an issue with Verizon.
Yeah.
And so it resolves an issue not seen on every Verizon connection, but
Yeah.
But if you are seeing issues, then that's the firmware I would probably use.
Yeah, my customer saw that issue. I think I helped identify.
Oh, that's
it.
right. That's right.
I think I helped identify that issue, and Ingenious was able to come up with the firmware and push it out within like a couple days. And actually,
Yeah.
one of my customers was in New York City, and his customers in New York City, and he would have to commute in for like an hour, just to get in there. But we were able to push that firmware out, and he didn't even have to go to the site.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of cloud, right?
So that's the beauty of the firmware. But yeah, if anyone is having problems with Verizon, just update that firmware. It should fix it.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, remember to like and subscribe. We'll be back next week with more